Let's pull up this story. We've got this from Sky.com. Donald Trump could have been hit by shrapnel during assassination attempt, FBI director says. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can look at the damage to his ears in 2 points, indicating it likely was sure, they're arguing the shrapnel went forward and then through. Where the
shrapnel from what?
From what?
The teleprompters were
intact.
This is
really intact.
This is Christopher Wray pushing Democrat talking points.
Yes.
So that you can diminish, and I guarantee you right now, there are a bunch of Democrats going around saying he wasn't shot, something bounced up and hit him, so they can undermine the idea that someone nearly killed him and that he took a bullet for America.
Yeah. Joy Reid has been saying that. A bunch of the fringier Democrat pundits have been saying that. And of course, what they've been trying to do this whole week is just push Kamala Harris into the spotlight, make her seem like she's definitely the heir apparent. And I got to say, Democrats have done a really good job controlling this news cycle. And it's been hard to get other interesting stories out there. You know, Trump had a great rally the other day. The one was in North Carolina. That was terrific. They're really trying to screw with J.D. Vance.
I mostly blame Republicans.
So weird.
Plus, Republicans need to stop following the news cycle of the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And every so often, Republicans will set the news cycle. All that matters is they talk amongst themselves over what matters most. But the news cycle says Kamala, and then all of a sudden, tons of pundits stop talking about the Trump assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely understand why there is a need to cover Kamala now, but I think it's obviously being pushed too heavily because they're trying to make something happen really fast.
There's a need to fact check her. There's a need to call out her lies.
I mean, it is news. It's just not the only thing going on. And again, that's why I think they are trying to quickly drum up enthusiasm for her, because I think if they don't get enough support, if they can't really convince people in the first, I would say 10 days, but let's go with 2 weeks, then you will see some Democrat come out and challenge her. I mean, what's his name? Golden from Maine came out today and said he doesn't plan to vote for her.
Well, they're trying to tie up all of the delegates before the convention in that virtual roll call thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, wouldn't that make it...
Isn't it amazing how this is all going according to plan for them?
It's exactly what they wanted to do.
They stuck to the script, yeah.
How many months ago were we talking about, hey, Joe Biden's not on the ballot in Ohio, this makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Why would they do that? Oh, how well, because the convention timing. So
it's like they did that on purpose.
So they announced they were going to do a virtual nomination that was just a formality so that they could get through in Ohio, and then they would nominate Biden. Just a coincidence that when he drops out, Kamala Harris, who needs this, is now able to get confirmed without a convention.
And all of the stories that we're talking about how Kamala Harris was going to have this happen, it says, the DNC said this was planned since May. No, it wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't planned since, or it was. One or the other is true, and both of them are really bad.
They are.
You know what I mean?
Remember, this is the party of democracy.
Right.
This is the pro-democracy. They're going to save democracy by ignoring the voters from the primary.
You guys saw Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer the other day giggling like little schoolgirls, who just killed their best friend in the woods. Super excited about how Kamala Harris is.
What is that analogy?
No,
haven't you heard about that?
To the Slender Man thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but I'd say it's just you're describing them.
Haven't you ever? Every time there's like a group of teens who kill their best friend in the woods.
I've never.
Which happens.
There's a case that was out in Morgantown, West Virginia, too, very similar.
But the Slender Man one, they were like best friends,
and they're happy.
They lured a girl out because they were nuts.
There's another one in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's a really sad case.
What are these girls doing?
Look,
they're doing exactly what Jeffries and Schumer were doing, which is lying, making stuff up, and trying to push themselves into power. And they said that Kamala Harris, that she earned it.
Mm-hmm. Now that the process has played out,
that it was grassroots support, and it's so clearly a top-down, authoritarian, totalitarian, fascistic undertaking to install this woman as president without any people voting for her ever. She's had 0 votes. Mm-hmm. She couldn't even get votes in the primary in 2020. She had 3% of the vote before she dropped out because she had no support. All of her staff was saying that she was confusing and kept changing her policy positions, and nobody liked her. This woman is untested, she's unvetted, and she has absolutely no business being in this position, but they're just going to keep lying and saying that that she should be there.
I have never been so full of hate.
For Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I woke up
and
this morning.
the entire Democrat Party?
Yeah, because Joe Biden I dislike, but people voted for him in a primary. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't trust the primary process, but people advocated for it. They advocated for the voting for him, and then he wins the primary through their ridiculous superdelegate process. Now I'm sitting here being like, we know they steal it. We know they manipulate, but now they're just coming out and outright appointing someone who no one voted for. And then, Lord help me, you've got these liberal pundits being like, yay, democracy. And I'm just like, I have never been so full of hate in my life.
It is so infuriating. And the other thing, too, that I've noticed is you have the situation, too, where it's very hard to, like, break through to the mainstream media, to the legacy press. Like, they have this all so wrapped up. And you saw this, too, at the RNC when you had, in the Fiserv forum, you had all of the big legacy press. You had CNN and NBC and ABC and everyone doing their broadcasting from there. And Fox was there and Newsmax was there. But these were the guys who could pay the big money to have the big, big news programs there. And then all of the good media was relegated to the Panther Arena. Mm-hmm. And that was the good stuff. That was the stuff that should be streaming this. And I understand that the RNC has to make money or whatever, but like put the Daily Wire in the Fiserv. Put Timcast in the Fiserv. Put Human Events Daily in the Fiserv. War Room
was in the Panther
Put it
building.
In the Fiserv. That's where these people should be. That's where these pundits should be. Like, why is Charlie Kirk broadcasting from outside? He should be broadcasting live from the RNC.
They should have had one AP pool camera.
Yes.
Pointing at everything.
That's all you need.
That's it. And then you give the actual press and podcasts and personalities the real space inside.
The real space inside. Because that's who the people of the RNC, that's who the delegates watch. And that's how you break through this legacy media bubble. So you ended up with a situation where all of these people, who like on CNN, who believe that they are the voice of the people, they believe that they are the real press, they were able to maintain their bubble, and they had no business maintaining that bubble. It should have been popped. Well, and now we're out here, they're installing Kamala Harris, we can't break through it, and they didn't help us.
This
you know what I mean?
So I was actually asked this when we went to the RNC. They were like, some of our guests found out we weren't actually in the secure perimeter. We were outside because there's no way. Well, it's impossible. We're doing a live audience, right? Yeah. So we couldn't we couldn't do that show. And then the other issue was getting enough passes for everybody. I don't know how we got passes, but shout out to whoever got us passes because I did have them.
Oh, I helped Nancy get you guys passes.
Oh, okay, well, thank you very much because they were just like, Tim, your passes are here. And I was like, they are? Because we weren't planning on going like actually inside the perimeter.
Yeah.
We were going to be there for the ancillary, the outside events. There's things going on all over the place. But when I was there, I got asked multiple times by many of the people, where inside is the show going to be? And I said, we're not. And they were like, you wait.
You're not?
Exactly.
They were like, didn't the RNC bring you guys out to do a show here? And I was like, no. People actually thought that the RNC gave us space and said, we want Timcast IRL at the RNC. It makes a lot of sense. I was like, no, of course not. We had no.
And then you look at the viewers, the view count of these alternative media, and it's breaking through CNN and MSNBC and these other places. Yeah, and then also our party's constantly like, oh, we need to embrace alternative media. Let's modernize. Let's do that. And then you have the opportunity for like the biggest week, and you don't do that, which is so sad.
And it was really fascinating, like to be there at the RNC. I had never been to a political convention before, and it was really so interesting. And I thought, why? When I turn on the TV, are the main players the same people who have been lying to us for the whole rest of the year?
The DNC is going to be nuts. Mm-hmm. We saw those riots in D.C.
That time
we have a reporter heading out to cover the protests.
Oh.
We can't get into the convention, but
was it Biden with Netanyahu earlier?
Yeah.
When he said something like from one proud Zionist to another or something like that. I can't remember exactly. He said something like that, right?
He said something like an Irish Zionist.
Yes,
or something like
yes,
that. Yeah.
to a Jew. Yep. And then,
that's really great. Yay, IRA.
But then you've got Kamala, who came out and said that she was raising money for Israel as a little girl. Mm-hmm. And do you think these far leftists are going to sit by and be like, no, that's fine?
Tim, I remember what she was raising money for, and it was the bail to get those people out that were previously protesting.
And I saw the same people who are going to go throw firebombs at
the exact same people. And I thought something, sorry.
And some of those people are killers.
They are. That's what I was going to say. I saw that yesterday. I didn't realize, that tweet that we keep pulling up where she was doing the bail, that link still works. A reporter yesterday did a test thing for $10 just to see, and it still works. That's crazy.
No, that's been up. We were reporting on that at the Post Millennial in 2020. Andy No was all over that.
Yeah.
And we were shocked then, and she still stands behind it.
That's crazy. Out of all the things people have scrubbed from their Twitter, she is standing by that.
Well, why
like,
should she scrub
intentionally.
it? She
proud of
needs
it.
the far left.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to look for
yes.
confirmation of this right now, but if I'm not wrong, her stepdaughter has pushed a lot of pro-Palestine
correct.
fundraisers.
Yeah.
So there's a level of like Kamala Harris is about to try and be on every side of every
old is
issue.
the stepdaughter?
She's in her early 20s, I think. She might be
Because like
25
they
max.
push this whole thing that she's the stepmom and she's the mamala and everything. She got married
Mamala.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I think both
So,
of her
I mean,
kids are in their
she hasn't-
or like her stepkids are in
Yeah,
their
I mean,
20s.
so she was around during their teen years for a little bit.
Mamala.
Yeah, and she will bring out these
She
narratives
got married
like,
when she was 49, and before that, what was she doing? Like sleeping her way into California politics.
well, look, she's a feminist. She's trying to make her life work.
Hey.
No, but the thing is, Kamala Harris is about to try to be on every side of a lot of issues, right? Like she was touring abortion clinics, but she's going to come out and say, well, I'm for women and they're bad. She's going to say, oh, well, I'm the tough on crime prosecutor and I can tell Donald Trump what to do. Here you go, Black Lives Matter rioters. I mean, it's just going to be everything. And I think that's
It's like the Obama thing where he kept telling every group exactly what they wanted to hear, and every group believed him.
That was great.
Oh, yes.
The
Yeah.
anti-
It was
I remember,
I don't remember the anti-war
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my
I was there. I was one of
anti-war
them.
theater friends, and they were like, no, he's anti-war. And I was like, but he just said that he wants to boost troops in Afghanistan.
Yep.
He's pro-gay marriage. No, he isn't, you guys. He is just a liar.
But I don't think people believe Kamala Harris the same way they believe Barack Obama.
Did you see
They might.
that they're saying Kamala is the most liberal member of Congress or the Senate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This has
from
been-
that GovTrack thing.
Yeah, but this has been a talking point for a long time, and it's technically true, but you need to understand the context. It's that she doesn't engage in any deal making. So all of the bills she signs on
That's
to,
great for a possible future president.
absolutely,
No deal making.
Bernie Sanders is the furthest left politician we probably have, other than AOC maybe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he used to be, but now he's like number 4. But the reason they don't say he's the most liberal is because he negotiates with conservatives, and you'll find him on bills that are slightly moderate because he says to them, "I'll vote for you if you vote for me." Kamala does not do that.
Wow.
But did you see she was interviewed, and she was asked about this? You're called the most liberal. I'm watching, and I'm like, she's Dr. Hibbert. She's Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons. They go, yeah, you.
With the laugh.
Right. He says, you've been criticized as the most liberal member of Congress. And this had appeared on a website. And she goes, I'm like, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
You want 4 years of that? Come on, people.
Oh, heaven help me.
And she didn't
I don't-
deny
Why
it.
don't you just give
there
her
was
a
no
little
denying.
Venn diagram of her liberal
They should,
policies, right?
With a yellow school bus.
Right,
This
there
is
you go.
this is an interesting question I have for you, Brilyn, though.
Solar yellow.
Yes.
Because Simpsons certainly still does exist, but do you understand the Dr. Hibbert reference?
I don't know.
Dr. Hibbert, because I don't know if he's still on the show anymore because the show's so old.
Yeah.
But he laughs inappropriately.
Oh, okay.
And so this is in the 90s. Yeah, he walks in and he's like, "You've got cancer." That's Kamala Harris.
Oh, it is. It
Yeah,
totally
it's
is.
you ask her a simple question like, "What's your tax policy?" What?
It exists within the context of which it exists in. Like, she
Yeah,
just
why are
goes
you
in
laughing?
circles.
I think that is a direct quote.
That's a direct quote. Yeah,
That's
which
her
is
famous
so
one.
unfortunate, but
It
you
should
know.
exist in the context of what it should exist in.
It does. Hey, I just found this article about the Minnesota Freedom Fund, which is the group that she obviously was supporting with the bail money. Here are just a few examples. I won't read them all. In April of 2022, a guy named Sean Michael Tillman was released thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund. 1 month later, he shot a man 6 times.
That's right.
Wow.
Okay.
Thanks, Kamala.
George Howard was in jail for domestic assault in August 2021. In August 2021, he was bailed out by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. 18 days later, he shot and killed a man in a fit of road rage. One more, Christopher Boswell, twice convicted rapist. He got out thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund that Kamala Harris is still raising money for as a city vice president. He promptly strangled another woman the same day and said he would do something to her.
I kind of feel like conservatives want to sit on their porch in a rocking chair, sipping on some lemonade while their kids, play in the grass with like soccer ball or something, and then they want to, just get the work done, come home, see their family, and it feels like liberals just want to party and have things paid for them. Look, man, there's way too many millennial liberal types who are like, I don't want work. And there's way too many conservatives who are like, what another good hard day of work. I'm just like, it's becoming this polarized.
Oh, it is. What a stark contrast, too. I mean, that's like the generation that's coming up and they're like expecting that of like, oh, I'm just going to sit there and everything's going to be paid for me. They're going to bribe my vote every time. I'll vote for whoever cancels my student debt or pays for my housing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.